Just having a little slurp of my tea. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is, well, you know me as Comedy Zola anyway. That's not my name. Imagine if my mom. Never mind. So, this is going to be our holiday get together, the final joke writing Grand Prix of the year of 2024. Hope everybody had a great year. I did make some notes here. If you are a member of the Discord, don't forget to check your yearly goals. I encouraged everybody to write goals for the year at the beginning of last year. Do check those. We'll see how those went. And get ready to write your goals for the coming year. I had a little. I posted a little poll after the last Joke Writing Grand Prix and said, how often do you guys want to have these? And at first, it seemed like monthly was going to be the winner, but it seems like bi-weekly has won. So we're going to try that in the new year. We'll do these streams bi-weekly every 2 weeks, and we'll see if people still think they're fun. We'll see if people still show up. Sounds echoey. What could that be? I don't know. It looks like there's only one audio thing. I don't know. I'm sorry if there's an echo. I don't know. I don't know. There's a million buttons here. I don't know what any of them really do. Yeah. So bi-weekly. So if you guys will show up, and if you guys stop showing up, then I'll stop doing it that much. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to turn this down just a hair. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I asked folks to write some bad fiction. Some bad holiday fiction, so we're going to review those first, and I'll be awarding points for those. The Ugly Fiction Writing Contest, thank you to those of you who submitted. That is going to be fun. I already talked about twice weekly. And I want to say thank you to the patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. As you can see, all these fine folks pitch in, and it's much appreciated. Helps keep the lights on, as they say. And honestly, it's just, even more than just being a monetary thing, which is helpful. It's just a nice vote of confidence that you guys dig what I'm doing. So, yeah, let's see. Let's get on with it, shall we? So we will start with the Ugly Fiction Writing Contest. This is Comedy Zola's Holiday Bad Fiction Writing Contest for the salvation of humanity through capitalism, which pleases Santa Claus sexually. You can see the acronym there if you'd like to use it for short. Now, I did spend some time writing a Google Apps script that would take these entries and shovel them into Google Slides without me seeing them. So I'll be reading these to you mostly unseen by me. And I'm going to score these. I'm going to score these Great British Bake Off style. So let's get started. Here's our first. This comes from Aaron. As the mall Santa laid there, bleeding out, I lit a cigarette and blew the smoke in his face. I then screamed, "Don't you remember me? What did I ask for when I was 8?" He then groaned out the words, "No, son." Yeah. This is Aaron. We haven't seen him in a while. He's been busy doing comedy on other corners of the internet. Great to have him back around. So that's one of our entries. Let's see. Here's our next entry. As I stood there holding my mom's once beating heart in my bare hands, I couldn't help but to smile and let out a little chuckle. After all, Mother only ever wanted me to be happy, and now I was. Okay. Mom had it coming. I take it. Certainly has a holiday feel. Thank you, Christine, for your entry. Oops. Here is Taylor's entry. Annie stepped out of the Maconville airport and admired the abundance of Christmas lights, a brief release from the thoughts of her parents who were recently killed during a no-knock search warrant. So far, that's my fave. I can't help but wonder if Taylor is a fake name because you hope that they will arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. But if that is your real name, then, congratulations. That's a good one. And I do also hope that they will arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. I think they did. I'm not sure if they got convicted or what the end of that story was, but it was terrifying. A terrifying thing to have happened. And here's our final entry. As the still burning Christmas ham, awash in blue and orange flames, crashed through the kitchen's picture window, I knew I had made a terrible mistake. But let me back up just a bit first. Chad fucking McNaughton, all caps, which is written in all caps. But he listed all caps as part of his name, so I have to read all caps. Okay, here's what I think. I think I am going to... When was it grown? Okay, I'm going to award Christine 4 calling birds. And Ron, I'm going to award 3 French hens. And I think it's going to be Chad fucking McNaughton, all caps, 2... What is 2? 4 calling birds, 3 French. 2 turtle doves. And Partridge in the Pear Tree goes to Taylor. So, well done all. You guys nailed it. If you can't tell, this was meant to be just the silliest opening to a holiday novel you can think of. I really enjoyed this. Thank you guys for participating. I think it's funny. I enjoy silly stuff like this. So we will get on to the main game. And if you're watching this and thinking that you might like to participate, in the joke writing, just you'll need to join the Discord. And we do have, I believe we have a new player today. Ghost of the Server is joining us. Just join the Discord and ask today if they could be in the joke writing. Normally I would have said no, but they submitted a joke writing packet, so they are a real joke writer. Capital R, capital J, capital W, real joke writer. So let's get on with the game, shall we? Wendy Mills is asking, was there a cutoff for these? I sent mine today. I didn't see it on the stream. Yes, there was, and it was today about an hour ago when I did this. Let me see if I can find your entry. I don't want you to be left out, Wendy Mills. I appreciate you. Okay, here it is. So I apologize that you won't get a slide, but here it is. The blizzard graying out the sky was a disappointment to the kids gathered around the Christmas tree, but for Susan, whose sensual truck stop encounter with a man who had back hair like a mat and an affinity for biting in the throes of bathroom stall passion, mixed with her poor understanding of lycanthropy, had left her feeling pensive about a full moon on Christmas Eve. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like how really paints a picture, doesn't it? And you can always, I think we can all appreciate a sort of a quasi-sexual reference to lycanthropy. I think we're all on board with that. It goes without saying, particularly during the holiday season. So, Jay Mills, I'm going to award you the coveted 5 gold rings. Just because I already ordered the others, and now I'm reading yours late, and I just wanted somebody to win 5 gold rings. So there we go. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys taking part in the Ugly Fiction Writing Contest. We'll continue to do those if you like them. So on to the main program. Now, if you've not seen the stream before, here's what happens. I am going to turn on a prompt and a timer, and the hilarious members of the Discord are going to try to write jokes to that prompt. Keep in mind, you do not have to include any words of the prompt. It can be completely tangential, have nothing to do at all with the prompt, as long as it's a working joke. We're looking for a well-structured joke, 2 stories, as light on the wordplay as possible, although I will say, for the most part, these guys write a lot of wordplay jokes because they know that I don't like it. So that is that's the kind of community that I've been lucky enough to build, one that is at all times struggling against me. So here we go with the first prompt. Worst possible holiday. I'll get the timer going. I need to refresh you. So there's your timer. 5 minutes. Off you go. Now you will see on screen, these guys will be throwing up some jokes, and I will score them as soon as they begin to trickle in. Now, while these guys are thinking, let's see if I can come up with. Oh, this is wrong. Wrong. You're wrong. I don't know how this got screwed up. I guess you can only do. There we go. So let me see. Worst possible holiday. I feel like it should start with something like, I didn't get anything for Christmas this year for anyone. So here's my. I don't know if this reads. I just wrote this off the top of my head. I didn't get anything for Christmas this year for anyone. So this would be story 1. I didn't get anything for Christmas this year. Leads you to believe I didn't receive any gifts. And then for anyone is our second story. The 2 stories in a joke being, the story that the setup tells, and then the second story that the punchline reveals was there all along. That's a Greg Dean thing. I'm getting a little slurp on my tea there. Let's see. Something like I use this setup a lot with jokes people say. People say the holidays are bad, but I think I'm gonna have to stop using it just because of a very famous person who sucks real bad who says people say all the time. How's our timer doing? All right, we're down to 3 minutes 45. So people say holidays are bad. I disagree. Everything is bad. It's not really disagreeing. Is it? Let's see. I'm thinking of like, I got my favorite gift ever from my husband this year, a divorce. Let's see. How are we doing on the timer? 3 minutes left still. What about like I'm not thought of a punchline for this at all, but I like this as a setup. I tried to get a job as a reindeer. Tried to get a job as a reindeer. They said the light up red thing had to be my nose. Huh? Come on. We're doing it, guys. This is nailing these. It looks like some jokes are coming in from our participants. So let's see. Our first joke of the day from Wendy Mills says, my dad struggled with my trans sister celebrating International Women's Day since she's never left the country. Okay, here's what I like about that. First of all, when I was reading the setup of that, I'm tensing up because I feel like it's going to be a dumb trans joke, which I don't like. Everybody knows that I don't like that. But what I dig about this is it was a misdirection, and the writer knew that I would be tensing up in that way, and the punch has nothing to do with being trans at all. So yeah, I like that a lot. That's going to be our first points of the day to Wendy Mills. And I'm going to go 8. 8 points straight out the gate. Our next joke from Alvaro, who said he wasn't playing today, and yet here he is. Pleased to see you, buddy. I got my parents gift cards for Christmas just so that they can get anything they want under $10. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Let's see. Great shape. I'm going to give that a 6. I, too, am a 6. Let's see. Dan says, I had the worst holiday. Like every Christmas dinner, I invited my family, and this year they came. I love it. I love it. The holidays are bringing out the best in you guys, I do believe. That's a good one. What do I like about that? I guess I like that it sort of encapsulates the dread I feel about the holidays, which is spending time with sort of extended family. They're lovely people and all, but just my fear at every moment is they're going to say something that I'm going to have to audibly disagree with, because if I don't audibly disagree with it, then that means I'm endorsing the thing that they're saying. I have a lot of dread about that. Dan, I'm going to give you a 7 for that one, bud. Let's see. Ghost of the Server, new joke writer. First joke written by new joke writer and patron. Thank you for that. Oh, there's our timer. If you are working on a joke to this prompt, do try to wrap it up. There is the timer for that one. Stop making that noise. So we'll get on with these. From the people that brought you Thanksgiving, introducing Hate Crime Day. Yeah. I don't think there needs to be a special day. You can do a hate crime pretty much any time, we've learned. I'm going to give that a 5 because that's what it deserves. Okay, let's see. Admiral. I really wanted to fall in love before Christmas, but my sex doll had a no kissing rule. Gross. I'm also going to go 5. Now, the thing that you should know about Admiral is that he sometimes writes a lot of jokes and ends up winning the stream just on volume. And you can see here he's written 2 jokes back to back. Here's joke number 2 from Admiral. Last year for Easter, I hid eggs around the house. I should really stop calling the fertility clinic the house. I guess in this joke, Admiral works at a fertility clinic? Who put him in charge of the eggs? I'd like to know. I'm not sure, bud, but I'm going to give you a 4. So, let's see. Aaron, in his triumphant return, says, the worst possible holiday is Thanksgiving. It consists of dealing with annoying relatives, dry turkey, and awkward questions why I was screwing Aunt Karen on the couch. You know, you guys said you wanted a little stuffing. I gave her a little stuffing. Am I right? Or am I right? Yeah, good one. You know, I like that you're getting out there and dating. Hey, Ron. Just because it happens to be Aunt Karen, you know. Rule of 3s, well applied there. So here we go. Ghost of the Server says, the holidays can be so depressing watching my ex-girlfriend sneaky edit, ninja edit as I was reading the joke. The holidays can be so depressing watching my ex-girlfriend be happy on Instagram and from inside her closet. Yes, of course. Of course that joke ended with you being kind of a gross stalker guy. So let's go. Oops, that's too many. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Ron says, I hate Christmas. I have to spend my hard-earned money on people that don't pay me respect. Boo, wordplay. Oops. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Okay, let's see. DSIM says, I bought hundreds of dollars of gift cards to my I brought hundreds of dollars of gift cards to my parents, and I know they will redistribute them all throughout the year to various scammers. Yeah, I feel like that was let down a little bit, just by maybe by some typing. But there we go anyway. Coy says, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer really teaches the meaning of the holiday. Even if you're ugly and everyone hates you, if you work on Christmas Eve, maybe your boss will give you a promotion. Yeah. Shout out to all the working class folks in the world. No, his name is not Keo. It is Coy. Aaron says, I hate Christmas lights. They try to brighten my inner gloom. That feels like a blog post more than anything, Aaron. And Coy says, I think that Christmas will be a lot more interesting once I have children of my own. That's when Santa will start coming around again. Yeah. And a great reason to have kids, really. So here we are after the first joke round. Let's get rid of this prompt. And we'll bring up prompt 2, mythical beasts that should exist. Get the timer going. If it'll work, there it goes. Also, let me check in with you, stream chat. Just checking on the stream chat. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Mythical beasts that should exist. Let's see. That's just the first setup that came into my mind. I don't have a punchline for it. Instead of breathing fire, they could shit gift cards. Huh? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, let's get this guy a Netflix special tomorrow. How about... I'd hate to be Santa's stylist. Same thing every year. We had sex. I couldn't think of a punchline. Let's see. How are our guys doing? They're still thinking. So yeah, that one stinks. I'll have a slurp of my tea. Maybe then I'll get my brain going. I got fired from the toy shop. I wasn't stealing any toys, just 15 elves. Give me them elves! Who doesn't want to steal those little guys? Just trying to think about like something about Santa's list. It's not coming to me, though, luckily. The joke writers in the Discord are coming up with some jokes. Let's go. Ghost of the Server says, everyone says Santa is a myth, but he was real until they introduced the Second Amendment. I guess in this joke, Santa got shot? Home invasion? He was shot for that? Had it coming, if you ask me. Coy says, in ancient Greece, you could write a story about a creature with the head of a man and the body of a lion, and you would be a legendary storyteller. Now you would be a furry. um, what can I say, guys? I like it. I like it. A. Ron says, I think the Tooth Fairy should exist. She could save us money on building dentures. True. Yeah. Okay. Not sure there was much of a turn there. Like the turn from the first story to the second, I think was a little bit missing, but never mind. We have another joke on the same format, it looks like. Aaron says, Bigfoot should exist. At least then we could cut the conspiracy theories down by a sixth. Yeah, again, feels a little like it's lacking a turn. But it does have the shape. Admiral says, the only dwarfs we see in Lord of the Rings are like the Hulk Hogans of their countries. Yeah, good observation. I just wish... I mean, I like the direction that the observation is going, that the dwarves in Lord of the Rings are like crazy buff, like too buff. But I feel like we needed to see the other side of it somehow. Like it's just that is a great idea for a joke about the Lord of the Rings, but it needs that we need to be able to see the second story somehow. You know what I mean? There. So let's see. Wendy Mills says, I wish dragons were real, so when gold gets hoarded by hairless creatures, I could at least take pee breaks. Okay. I think I understand the joke. I think it's about Bezos and Amazon not allowing people to pee or forcing them to pee in bottles. I feel like we had just a couple too many moving parts in there. You know what I'm saying? But for effort, a few points. Aaron says, Jack Frost should exist so we could try him for the crime of climate change. But would he be responsible? Surely Jack Frost, I mean, if he were nipping at our nose, if he did a little bit of nipping, there's the joke, it seems to me, Aaron. It should be like, I wish Jack Frost did exist so he could do a little nipping at climate change. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's the timer. Turn off. Yeah. So I needed to add some points to AA Run. Vampires should... Admiral says, if Wolverine becomes a werewolf, does he, like, turn back into normal man? Yeah, that's a good question. But I feel like... Again, I feel like the joke should answer that question. Like, I don't know how you would get into it, but because the setup of the joke would have to be something like, when I was Wolverine, you know. I guess I probably would need to know more about the comic books, maybe, in order to be able to parse that one. Aaron says, vampires should exist. Then they could work for the Red Cross, the IRS, and lifeless coaches. Okay, so there is a joke within a joke there. So the joke is that vampires could work for, places that just seem predatory. And then the lifeless coaches is a wordplay about them being dead. So let's see. On to Ghost of the Server says, one time I asked Santa for a flying monkey, and on Christmas morning I received a mirror. Yeah, all right. You are the monkey. Who hasn't felt that on Christmas morning? Being their very own monkey. DSim says, the only way I'll start running again is if monsters are real. Then I'll be sprinting up the stairs like years ago. Sorry for that joke. I think the pieces are there. I'm not sure if they're ordered quite like you would intend them to be in the finished version of that. You know, you could do like, I'm glad that monsters are real, and living in my neighborhood because at least I'm running again or something. I don't know. Think of the exercise. Admiral says, I don't understand why sailors fall in love with mermaids when fish are so sexy on their own. God, whomst among us hasn't looked at a fish and been like, look, listen, buddy, you are twice the mermaid that anyone's ever been. I'm going to give you 7 points for that, Admiral, because I think that's funny. In general, I think fish are pretty funny. Okay, Wendy Mills says, I'm starting to think Santa is real since the entire world can receive packages overnight made by people woefully underpaid. Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving this Bezos attack. Wendy Mills. I'm going to go another 7 on that. Yeah, good job, guys. Let's think about our next prompt, shall we? We shall. If you do have any jokes that you're still working on based on that prompt, feel free to wrap them up and slap them in. Now we'll go on to prompt number 3. Ooh, non-lethal curses for my enemies. I'm thinking about like Carlin had a joke back in the day about wishing that someone's underwear was just a little bit too tight. That seems like a good curse to me. Like, it's easy to wish, serious harm on someone, but we don't want that. Non-lethal curses. Now, let's see. What form should they take? Is it like, did I start the timer? No. What a fool. Who's running this thing? There we go. Something like, may your ever be too tight. Let's see. I hope your kids call you back unless you like them. That seems like a curse. Have a blessed day. By Satan. Satan loves that kind of thing. Ooh, I just saw Admiral's latest joke. It's spicy. He's a spicy boy. What else could we do? Something like something about your I hope you get double charged for all the stuff you try to return. That's what happens to my enemies. When they try to return their Amazon crap, they get double charged for it. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Couple of jokes coming in. I'll wait for 1 or 2 more, and then we'll get back over there. How's the timer doing? Down to 3-ish minutes. I thought about making myself a glass of eggnog for this stream, but I thought it would be unprofessional to drink nog on stream because I would throw a little booze in there. How about like what about this? I hope you only ever see open parking spots you can't turn into. Boom! That one's for all you car-brained Americans. Which is, me, of course. So 2 minutes to go. A couple of jokes coming in. Let's get to them. Admiral says, I've been wishing that my worst enemy's penis would get smaller. It's really been hurting my mouth. I did see that one out of the corner of my eye. Great shape. I give it a 6. A little bit blue for my tastes, but I guess that's what it's about, isn't it? Blue. Ghost of the Server says, I hope someone loses their place on all their Netflix shows. Yeah, that's funny. Ghost of the Server, we'll go a 5 on that. Having to do math here and struggling. Aaron says, I would love to give my enemies the curse of being completely covered in pimples. Then they would be pop stars. Boo, wordplay, boo, 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 wordplay. Oops. Yeah, not a fan of wordplay. Ghost of the Server says, I want my enemies to fall in love with me so in 20 years they can look back and wonder where they went wrong. Kind of an own goal there, isn't it? I do like it, though. I do like it. Coy says, this guy at the grocery store blatantly cut in front of me in line. I was so mad, I thought, the next time he does this, I hope it's to someone with the balls to say something. Solid. Yeah. Great turn. Great turn at the end. I like it. Alvaro says, my grandma put a curse on my family. She made it so that every year we'd have to see her. Yeah. That is a good one. Solid. Yeah. Alvaro said he was going to be busy today, and here he is. I'm pleased by that. Ghost of the Server says, I know where my ex lives, and I'll periodically order pizzas to her apartment. That feels like a setup without an attendant punch. Oh, here, the timer's about to end. So, if you are working on jokes to this prompt, try to get them wrapped up. Check in on the YouTube chat. Anybody saying anything? Hello, chat. No, they're not. So yeah, it felt like a setup. But it didn't really have a punch. Now, if we did something like the bill still comes to me, that would be a punch on the end of that. But as it is, it just feels a little bit like a setup. And since you're leading, I'm not going to give you any conciliatory points. I hope you'll forgive me for that. But you are currently in the lead, so you don't need any help. Aaron says, I would like to give my enemies the curse of a lisp. Then they wouldn't talk without a myth stake. Boo, wordplay, boo. 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 Winnie Mills says, I cursed my enemy to never have another moment of peace in their life. Then Russia invaded Ukraine. My bad. I'm not sure it's entirely clear what we mean here. It feels like a play on the concept of peace, which, okay, sure. I'm not sure about that one. Admiral says, I met a Russian who told me I was an asshole. Talk about the suka calling the kettle bliet. I don't think that's how you spell suka bliet. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that on stream. This isn't a gaming channel, so we don't say those kind of words. But it's a wordplay joke, but with Russian. So I guess points for another language. Aaron says, I would like to make my enemies live with my ex. Then they would endure the mental anguish of narcissistic people. Yeah, blog post. Not much of a turn there. Let's see. Ghost of the Server says, I tell my enemies to love thy neighbor so I can get away with sleeping with their wives. I mean, he's just trying to spread some love around. Does feel a little bit like a blog post. I don't know. I guess the pieces are there, right? I mean, it's got the two stories. I'm going to go 6. Let's see. Aaron says, my enemies deserve to get delivered cold pizzas all the time. Yeah, that feels more like a curse. More like a curse. And that is what I asked for, isn't it? Wendy Mills says, I cursed my coworker so that they would have to deal with the biggest idiot every day. We can see where this is going. So they would have to deal with the biggest idiot every day for the rest of their life. But now I'm hoping it didn't work since I just got moved to the desk beside her. Yeah, it was a little bit of a long walk. But we got there. And it's got the right shape. What do you want? Come on. It's Christmas. So here's where we are after the first... Did I do that all on the wrong page? I did. What a fool. That is after our third prompt. If you're working on any jokes for that prompt, do try to get them wrapped up. And we'll move on to prompt number 4. Oh, Aaron saying I missed a TSA joke. Okay, my bad. Aaron says, I would like my enemies to always be stopped by the TSA at the airport. Then they would understand the pain in the ass they were. Yeah, I think we can kind of lose all those like TSA ass jokes. I'm pretty tired of them. It seems like a very like a Rogan-y type of thing. But it does have the shape of the joke, and it is a curse. So, and Admiral, I missed a joke from Admiral and from Coy. Geez, I'm really screwing up, guys. I apologize. Coy says, I was woefully unprepared for my witchcraft class. The instructor asked if anyone knew any curses, and I was like, fuck. Okay. For some reason, you've heard me complain about wordplay jokes, but for some reason, I dig this one. I don't know. I have no defense for myself, but I do like that. I do like that one because I like that. I guess I like that the setup is heavy on the other definition of curses, and then the turn is so simple. Yeah. Admiral says, I don't want you to get sick. You couldn't afford it. Ooh, topical. Ooh, Mr. Topical Guy. So there's where we are. Yeah, sorry about that, Coy. I did miss your joke, but I did get back and read it. Jamie's got a joke on the YouTube chat. Not participating in today's game. May your DoorDash be forever delivered by the guy with psoriasis in a clown suit. She says her mom liked it. I mean, look, if mom likes it, what more can you say? Hopefully Jamie will be joining us on a stream. She's visiting her family. And why not? It's the holidays after all. So let's move on to our 4th prompt. Here it is. Things my coworkers don't know about me. And we'll get the timer going. Refresh. This is one that I like, an idea that I come back to a lot when I'm writing my 5 daily jokes. But the joke's on them. I got laid off a month ago. Does that make sense? What? No? No, not really. I'm hiding a lot of stuff from my boss. I'm trying to think of a good third thing. And I'm an incontinent furry. That's not a punchline. It's just something I'm revealing about myself. Uh, that laugh was for a joke that I just read out of my eye, the corner of my eye, that Coy has said. I'm going to let it sit for a second until some other folks have written some jokes. Get the jokes coming in. Again, I don't have a punchline for this. It's just a setup. They said it doesn't matter where I park stolen cars. Okay, jokes are coming in. Let's get back to the main writing window, shall we? We shall. 2 minutes to go on this prompt. As you can see, the rules are very, very rigid. Let's reorder this. I think that, yeah, that looks right. So the joke that I read and laughed about a minute ago from Coy was, my coworkers don't know much about me. I don't go into the office a lot. I'm unemployed. You know, what can I say? I'm a simple man. I like that. Okay. Aaron says, my coworkers don't know that I have 2 jobs. I get paid double to sabotage their work. Somehow he's gotten hired twice at the same place. How did he manage that? No one knows. Alvaro says, people don't know what I do at work, and it can be described in 3 words. The bare minimum. There you go. Solid. 2 stories. It's gorgeous. Aaron says, my coworkers don't know that I can fake being interested in their lives. It's how I've stayed married all these years. Yeah. Of course it is. Coy says, I don't talk a lot at work, so none of my coworkers know that I'm way above them and shouldn't be doing this shit. I guess what I like about that is in the universe of the joke. I don't know. I guess I just like that I like that the voice of the joke is like really, really smug. Yeah, I like that. Very, you know, maybe because I personally am smug. That's why I like it so much. So, Wendy Mills says, I ran into my office crush while out shopping. I learned that she likes Target, and she learned I have a wife. Yeah, I dig that. I do wish there was, I guess I wish there was an implication there, like if it wasn't your crush, but like somebody that you used to date learned that you have a wife. Or like I ran into my ex-girlfriend and she learned how to wife, that kind of thing. That is very well-trodden territory, though. So there you go. Admiral says, my boss doesn't know I'm an amazing chef. His wife hasn't told him about us yet. There we go. Okay, Admiral's got another one. Water cooler talk is a thing of the past. Everyone gathers around the hot garbage that is America now. Ooh, topical. Mr. Topical. Aaron says, my coworkers don't know I work with a puppet. It's how I got a raise from the CEO. I guess the CEO is the puppet, maybe? Is that right? Coy says, I like having a uniform at work. None of my coworkers know that I'm unfashionable. Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Jamie C stopped by to say hello. She didn't say a joke, though. Coy says, my job makes me wear this t-shirt that says staff on the back in big letters. So, so people know about my infection. This is a joke I already had. Sorry, you don't have to count it. Okay. I won't if you don't want it counted, but I will if you do. I would never have known. You could have just lied. Alvaro says, I hate my coworkers. They bully me. They say I'm no good. It's really hard working at my family's bakery. Yeah. I like it. Very critical family, Alvaro. Wendy Mills says, I ran into my coworker on the weekend. It was weird seeing him in a casual environment where he was in jeans and I wasn't crying. Good one. Yeah, I guess I like it when people are in emotional distress. I don't know. As long as those people aren't me or my family. I don't want that. Aaron says, my coworkers and I work remotely. They work at their homes and I work at doing nothing remotely. Yeah. A little blog posty, but sure. Oh, whoops. It's the wrong person. Admiral says, I don't think that AI is going to kill jobs in America. Jobs died from eating fruit instead of getting proper medical care. Yeah. Poor old Steve Jobs. Except he wasn't. Poor was he. It was a mistake not to seek medical care. Koi says, I feel like your coworkers think that who you are at work is who you are all the time. My coworkers think I'm obsessed with talking about McDonald's, and I have to tell them, no, we just work at McDonald's. Good one. I thought we were going astray just because of the length. I mean, who hasn't heard that in the bedroom, am I right? But it ended up being really good. Good one. I liked it. Let's see. Ghost of the Server says, I told my boss during the interview I have irritable bowel syndrome, so they don't... I told my boss during the interview I have irritable bowel syndrome, so they don't know I'm watching Game of Thrones in the restroom now. Yeah. I feel like we had a few too many words, and we could slim it down, but yeah, I dig it. Koi says, I have to run off to the bathroom a lot at work because I have IBS. Turns out my coworkers had no idea. They thought I was just jerking off. Yeah, there's a... and Ghost of the Server even says he likes that one better. Yeah, that's a little better representation. And Corey also says that it's autobiographical. I mean, whomst among us, right? I ran into a coworker. This is DSM talking. I ran into a coworker this weekend with my car on purpose. Yeah, there you go. Short. Lethal. Good joke. Well, there's where we stand, gang. After 4 prompts, we'll go on to our 5th, our final prompt, and the final Joke Writing Grand Prix of 2024. I'll just have some tea for fortification. And after this prompt, those of you who are hanging around and watching, I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. I will put up a poll. And if you think that I've done anybody dirty, we will have a... by way of poll, we'll award them extra points, something I used to do on the stream. And we'll bring it back. So, final prompt. Here we go. Encounters on public transit. Let me get the timer going. There we go. 5 minutes. I like jokes about stuff that happens on the bus just because it's so like I guess because it feels sometimes it can feel kind of cozy, because you're like shouldering up to people. But you never know what kind of a mad person you're shouldering up to. Right? Bus driver asked me to get off. Bro, I already did like twice. Am I right, guys? Not only am I getting to work, they're stealing my data. It feels a little blog posty, right? Like, not enough of a turn there, or not enough of a relationship between Apple Pay and the data theft thing. Right? A couple of jokes coming in. What else can I do? Something about, here's a setup anyway. I always sit at the front of the bus. The driver says I talk to him too much. I say we have a podcast. All right, jokes are coming in from the joke writers. Let's get on over to the main window. Boom, look at that. Is this a technologically advanced YouTube joke writing stream or what, gang? Here we go. Wendy Mills says, my coworkers think they can get away with lying about IBS. Great. So far, very much on board. My coworkers think they can get away with lying about IBS, but as soon as my boss gets cool with the bathroom camera, I am busting their asses. I'm going to give that a 9. That is a 9. I guess I love the mix of like serious, like the boss and work and lying. My coworkers think they can get away with just the setup is so good. My coworkers think they can get away with lying about IBS. I mean, guys, call me a simple man, and many of you have, and you're correct to do so. But for me, in terms of joke setups, that my coworkers think they can get away with lying about IBS, to me, as an opening sentence, is up there with, the man in black fled into the desert and the gunslinger followed. It's like, Wendy Mills, that is a great. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and talk about how funny I think that is without giving you a 10. Rare 10 for you, Wendy Mills. And what I love about it is, with a setup that strong, you just think the punch is going to be something kind of blog posty, and it's not going to work. But he landed the punch also. Well done. Loved it. 10. Aaron says, I accidentally ran into my ex on the bus. She shouldn't have been in the crosswalk. Yeah, it's a rewrite of kind of a rewrite of the joke that we just saw Dan do. But yeah. I mean, it's for sure got the two stories. It's got the shape. Goes to the server says, I'm so non-confrontational, and one time a guy spit at me on the bus, and I said, bless you. Little blog posty. But never mind. All right, Koi. Oh, there's the timer. If you're working on jokes, do finish them up. Koi has got the nerve. Oh, wait a minute. Why are you still making that noise? Stop it. He's got the nerve to append a preamble to his joke. This is a true story, he says, parenthetically. I saw this guy pee on the subway, and he was peeing for like 3 straight minutes. Okay, here's another setup that I'm 100% on board with. I saw this guy peeing on the subway, and he was peeing for like 3 straight minutes. There was a lot of pee. I still wonder, why would you be holding it for so long and then pee on the subway? Yeah, I wish that the punch had something in it like, slow down, buddy. I've only got so many juice bottles or something like that. Like you're bottling the pee. But I did love the setup. Yeah. Goes to the server says, I remember taking the bus to school and then home and then to McDonald's and then I got arrested for theft. Yeah, he stole a bus. Who hasn't? Whomst among us has not stolen a bus? Fools, that's who. Aaron says, I saw my manager on the airplane. I got up out of my seat and pointed at him and said, he's a terrorist. It doesn't really feel like a joke, though, does it? And he also says, I found my coworker on the subway exactly where I left his body. Yeah, that's more joke-shaped. More joke-shaped. Wendy Mills says, I love taking a bus after work. They really need better security at the depot. Another bus theft. Got the right shape, though. Definitely joke-shaped. You see the second story there being that we're at the depot and they need better security because it was bus theft. I wasn't expecting quite so much bus theft. Goes to the server says, one time I saw a homeless man take a shit on the bus before leaving and the driver said, that's called the New York handshake. Is it, though? Is it? Alvaro says, I always hate when I see my coworkers in the bus. Next time I do, I'm quitting my job. As a driver. He's driving the bus. Wendy Mills says, the bus driver screamed at me to take a seat, but man, these things are really welded in there. Dan says, I met a lot of personalities on the bus I never expected to see there, like Napoleon. I guess that would be surprising. What's he doing there? Wendy Mills says, I tried to ignore the guy jacking off at the subway, but it's hard when he's making your sandwich. Because there's more than one kinds of Subway. Yeah. All right, gang, if you have any jokes that you would like to add to the stream, please get them in. Now is the time. If not now, then when? If not us, then whom? Let's see. Let me see if I can post this poll. I'm not even going to do a poll. There we go. Anyone who should get extra points? Anyone I did dirty? Tell me. Goes to the server, likes the Wendy Mills joke about jacking off at the sandwich. We'll wait to see if anybody in the chat wants me to give extra points to anyone they feel that I did dirty. And while they're thinking about that, I will take another moment just to say thank you so much to the patrons. I really appreciate it, guys. It's patreon.com/comedyzola. Would love to have you along. Many of you are there, and I do appreciate it. It's the best. And, yeah, looking forward to 25 in some ways. But, yeah, we'll try to do these streams bi-weekly since that's what people seem to want. We'll see if anybody comes out for those bi-weekly. Some kind of hype thing has just occurred. I think Leo has just given me $4.99, which I appreciate. Thanks, bud. Yeah, Wendy Mills did have a few bangers. Everybody was really funny today. We'll get back to the main scene. Everybody was really funny today. I really appreciate everybody hanging out, writing jokes. Hope you had a great year. If you want to hang out with us, we do this pretty much all the time. We work with each other's jokes. We try to workshop funny stuff. We try to help each other punch things up, try to make them as funny as possible. I've been writing a lot of jokes. Next year, I'm going to try to do some more stand-up. I didn't do too much this year, so I'm going to try to get back into that next year. So I'm going to be writing a lot of jokes. Do come and hang out with us. Oh, boy. Coy's got a late joke. This old man on the subway, this is Coy talking. This old man on the subway told me his legs are hurting and asked if I would stand up. It was fair. I was sitting on his lap. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I laughed, so. I worry at this point that we're just going to get into just forever writing jokes, trying to get to the top of the list. But for now, Coy has won. As you can see, there's the scoreboard. Coy, A.A. Ron, Wendy Mills. But we're all winners, aren't we? Especially me. Thank you guys for hanging. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you have any ideas how to make this better, how to get more people involved. We appreciate our new joke writer goes to the server. You did very well today. Everybody was really funny. Lots of really funny stuff. One more late joke. Admiral says, an old man on the subway told me he couldn't breathe, and I asked if I would give him room, but it was too late. I'd strangled him to death. Okay, now we're just getting macabre. We're getting macabre. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Really appreciate you guys. Check on those goals. Did I mention that? Let me see. Is there anything from my notes that I didn't mention? Yeah, I think we're good. So, happy 2024. Happy 2025. Happy holidays. And come hang on the Discord. Feel free to like and subscribe, whatever that means. And I think that what I'm supposed to press is this. Your stream